Okay, now that we talked about innervation of the heart via the autonomic nervous system, it's probably a pretty good idea to discuss in a little bit of detail how the electrical activity of the heart transmits these signals throughout the heart so that a depolarization in the right atria can be transmitted all the way to both ventricles and get them to contract. And the proper timing is most important. So it's a dual pump. The heart's a dual pump. That left and right sides of the heart pump separately. Remember that. But simultaneously, depolarization of the cells, that depolarization travels through gap junctions of interconnected myocardial cells, and that allows the action potential to spread to one cell to another. So the initial excitation of one cardiac cell eventually results in the excitation of all cardiac cells. If you've been stressed at all, you may notice that your heart flutters a little bit. We call that a premature ventricular contraction, and that is just one of your heart cells and probably a ventricle firing out of time, causing the heart to beat out of time, and you feel that flutter. It self-corrects probably on the next beat, so you don't even notice it. So let's talk about coordination. And one of the best ways we should look at it is our vena cava up here, just for reference. And our heart. Our superior or our inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. Our aorta is going to be over here. So let's just divide it into our 4 parts just to keep it easy, like this. Okay, so right here we have the first stop. This is what we call the SA node, the sinoatrial node. This has our this causes the initial depolarization in a small group of conducting cells. It's located in the right atrium, just for reference, near the entrance of the superior vena cava right there. And the action potential spreads from the SA node throughout the atria to the next stop. We have conduction pathways such as this. They look like that. And they're all going to converge on this spot right here. This spot right here, we're going to call that the AV node. This is the atrioventricular node. And from there, our next stop along the electrical pathway is right in here, which is, we call this the bundle of His. I'm not sure why it's called that, but it is. So SA node to AV node, bundle of His. And then we branch to both sides there. So we have our left bundle branch and our right bundle branch over on these sides. So once our next stop along this is we need to get the exterior walls of the ventricles, the electrical activity as well. So we next come this way, up through here. And we get these other branches off like this. And we call those Purkinje fibers. And these are part of the electrical activity. They transmit it to the other working tissue, or the cardiac muscle. So these pathways right here, I forgot to write that down, these are called internodal pathways. And then this is the intraventricular septum in the middle right here. So what ends up happening is the electrical activity starts at the SA node, transmitted through the internodal pathways to the AV node. There's a slight delay in timing because we do not want our atrium and our ventricles to contract at the same time. So there's slight delay here at the AV node, and then the electrical activity is transmitted via the bundle of His, branches into the left and right bundle branches, and then to the Purkinje fibers. And once this electrical activity hits the muscle cell, it depolarizes the membrane, causing contraction. Next stop along this is going to be our EKG. So we'll look at that on our next, how the electrical activity can be measured with an electrocardiogram, and what parts of the heart cycle are happening on each time.